Doing a Gulf Coast Radio Row with the fellow talkers from around the country. My pal Lars Larson coming up here in just a little bit. He'll be live from down here as well. And one of the fun things is getting to meet some folks and talk a little bit about what's happening here in Mississippi's Gulf Coast. Our next guest is BillStallworth. Bill's the executive director of the Community Development Agency here that is handling a lot of the relief and redevelopment of this part of the Mississippi Gulf Coast, post-Katrina, post the Gulf oil spill. Bill, it's nice to see you.
Scott, I really appreciate being here.
How many years have you lived in Mississippi's Gulf Coast?
I've been in the Mississippi Gulf Coast now almost 35 years. It's been a very interesting journey, and I've seen the Gulf Coast go through a number of changes over the years. And it's getting, as my little girl used to say, it's getting gooder and gooder by the day.
Well, is there still a lot of impact from Katrina these many years later? There
is still some impact from Katrina. A number of the homes that we've been working on to date, our agency has rebuilt about 780 rehabbed homes and about 80 new construction, but there's still a lot left to be done. In the area that we've primarily been working in East Biloxi, there were about 3,000 homes that were destroyed the day of the storm.
Gone.
Just gone. And the rest of the housing stock, another almost 3,500 units, totally went underwater. So it's been a challenge to get everything back, but we are making a lot of great strides. We are really making a push now with the help of the state of Mississippi and a lot of volunteers and agencies like mine. We're really looking to try and get those people who are still left out in cold back into their homes.
So there are still people that do not have a place to call home after Katrina?
There are still people who don't have a place to call home, and we're trying to make sure that at the end of this journey, we hope and pray that everybody who had a home will ensure that they have a home at the end of this year or the next.
Now, what happens in the case of a disaster of the magnitude of Katrina? Obviously, a hurricane causing that. When you want to rebuild, I mean, are there different standards to say you're this close to a Gulf, and we know hurricanes can happen, and therefore you have to build it to different standards?
Absolutely. When FEMA came in after the storm, they imposed new building requirements and basically required a majority of the area to start lifting the homes. The homes are being now built anywhere from 4 to 10 feet above what we call the base flood elevations. So where we are now is that we have to elevate a number of the homes. The further inland we go, of course, you don't have to. But the closer you are to the water, the higher you have to be elevated to avoid the surge that might come in.
And you talked about 3,000 homes instantly destroyed. Is that just Biloxi alone?
That's just in the eastern portion of Biloxi.
And how far in was that impact? I mean, how far inland?
Well, what people need to understand is Biloxi itself is a peninsula. And this particular wave, as it reached the tip of that peninsula, it came with a 30-foot surge that went across and filled up the bay and met in the middle. So everything went underwater. But that was a 500-year storm. The likes we hope will never be seen in this life ever again.
Where were you? Were you down here living it?
Actually, I was. We spent, my wife and I and my grandbaby, we were spending, we moved a little inland and rode it out at my mother's house. Came back right across the bay and looked at it right after the storm, and it was unbelievable. You would not ever want to be in a situation like that. It truly looked like a war zone. Most volunteers who came down really looked at this and determined that they've been around the world looking at disasters, and there was nothing ever like Katrina in their minds. So, most people would have given up and just moved away. However, the people of the Gulf Coast are kind of a tenacious group. They just refused to give in, and we decided we were going to rebuild. Nothing is going to run us away. We love the area. It's a great area to live in, and we were going to do everything that we could to ensure that, we got back, we come back stronger, better than we've been before.
I would imagine, though, after a storm of that magnitude, hurricane season comes around and people get a little jittery, do they?
Oh, yeah. We used to have the saying down here, if it was a Category 1, we just kind of close up and just stay put. Category 2.
Get an umbrella, huh?
Get an umbrella, just walk around. Category 2 or 3, you just might want to think about, okay, you want to replace some of the carpeting in your house, et cetera, and if it got to be a 4 or 5, then we'll think about leaving. After Katrina, Category 1, we out. We gone. We won't see you. We'll wait till it comes back. Everybody is very, very aware of the dangers of the hurricanes, and we've been able to just motivate more and more people and make provisions for people to get out of town when it comes.
That's a good thing. You know, when we were watching up north, that's one of the criticisms that you heard from folks after, Katrina the storm, that the warnings weren't heeded. But this hurricane's kind of part of the culture down here, and for a while you just sort of heard Chicken Little being called a few too many times, I guess. Huh?
Well, I think that was part of it. But what people fail to understand is that a lot of the areas that were mostly devastated, people were on fixed income. And when you think about when Katrina came in, late August, it makes a real difference, because you're 2 days or 3 days before the retirement check comes in, or any other public assistance that you might be in comes in. So where are you going to go to with no money? And if you don't have the savings, if you don't have a place to go, then stay put. I talked to a lot of folks who were trying to get out and wanted to get out, but that was a comment. We don't have money, we don't have a place to go, we don't have any hotels, so we're just going to ride this one out. Unfortunately, that was not the best decision. And now, thanks be to God, we've learned our lesson. And basically, we've made provisions now for people who can't get out to get out.
There has been a fair share of tough luck for this part of the country for some time. You obviously had Katrina and other hurricanes. You've had the Gulf oil spill. How has the impacts from the Gulf oil spill more recently been?
Well, the Gulf oil spill, it came about at a time when we were really getting back on our feet. I liken this to a prize fight. You've been kind of knocked down to the mat for a minute, but you're getting back up and you're getting your wits back up and you're getting back in your fighting stance, and all of a sudden, comes a guy from behind you that you didn't see coming, just knock you flat back down again. And one of the things that happened was that although we didn't get a lot of the physical oil spills, the perception that people had that the oil was everywhere on the beaches really hurt our tourism and our casinos industries, and it just made it more difficult for that to recover. Our seafood industry really took a licking. A lot of it, this year was supposed to be the year that people really made it back totally. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes BP's oil spill, and it's unfortunate that we were not able to see the recovery that we had. But like I said, the coast, you would really love. I know the people in up north in Fargo, I think they're probably the same kind of people. Because when I think about the cold weather that people experience up there, and the reason that people live there,
toughens you up a little.
Toughens you up. You really love the area. You want to stay in the area. That's exactly what happens here on the Gulf Coast. We fight through this. We won't be defeated by this. We're going to come back, and we have come back even better and stronger.
Fascinating. BillStallworth from the Hope Community Development Agency, a housing resource center responsible for a lot of the relief and redevelopment post-Katrina of this part of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Bill, nice to meet you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I certainly hope that everybody in Fargo, come on down. We got a great place.
There you go.
I know it gets cold up there, so come on back this way.
We'll come down, do a little golfing and
fishing, and we got great seafood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been tested. It's clean. Come on.
All right.
We'll enjoy it.
Sounds
Take
good.
you out.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. We'll continue with more on the Scott Hannon Show on the Common Sense Club. Bill wants you to come on down, and Christy Bennett from the Gulfport Biloxi Airport is going to tell you how to get here when we come back on the Scott Hannon Show on the Common Sense Club. Don't go away.
Great Plains Integrated Marketing, a Christmas gift, invite you to grab a vine and swing into Fashion Avenue, into the wild. Hair Success Media Productions and the Fargo Holiday Inn proudly present Fashion Avenue, Tuesday, November 23rd at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall of the Fargo Holiday Inn. Fashion Avenue, into the wild. Christmas set in the jungle, featuring Fargo's own blenders live. Get your champagne and we'll toast to your chance to win a beautiful loose jungle diamond from Schmidt's Gems and Fine Jewelry. Retail value $8,000. Or a gorgeous fur coat from Lori's and Dicker & Dicker. Retail value $3,000. A day of beauty from Hair Success. Retail value priceless. And lots more. Enjoy a fabulous dinner at the Fashion Avenue Deli. It's Fashion Avenue, featuring the best of Fargo Moorhead, Lori's, Strauss, a.k.a. ShortPrinter.com, Lux, Gap Kids, Schmidt's Jewelers, Corwin Automotive Group, Shotwell Floral, 7-Up Bottling Company, Bottle Barn Liquors, with choreography by Natalie Sparrow. It's Fashion Avenue, Tuesday, November 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Fargo Holiday Inn. Get the best seats. Tables are going fast. Reserve yours by calling Patty at 361-5217. Fashion Avenue for the Christmas gift, helping make holiday dreams come true.
We just had a solid year. Yields were good and return on investment was strong. The adjustments we made to our